Fortnite's back on iOS after almost 5 years.
That's longer than I've even been playing.
With over 1.38 billion active iPhone users, there might be a lot of new players. Fortnite Festival, Lego, Ballistic, Zero Build, they're all here. I've played this on an iPhone 13 Pro and an iPhone 15 Pro Max. The performance was pretty much the same across both. The only difference really was I noticed that the buffer zones on the iPhone 15 Pro Max were a little bit bigger, so I would have less chug moving from region to region. They both did buffer a little bit when you first jump off the battle bus though, which isn't really a dangerous spot to buffer, so I don't think that's too much of an issue. On the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I was able to test out the Bluetooth Turtle Beach Atom and the backbone, which was directly through USB-C. The iPhone 13 Pro still has a lightning port, so I had to use the Atom for that only. The battery performance was surprisingly impressive considering how hot the phones got while playing. For one match, I lost about 3% battery, and that's with the brightness at max and the audio set to 60%. The game itself is under a gig, but the moment you launch it, there's a mandatory update before you can actually play, and that was another almost 13 gigs for me. From my experience so far, mobile exclusive lobbies seem to exist, whereas if you party up with a friend on, say, a PS5, PC, or Xbox, that's when you get some harder lobbies. I tried both on Wi-Fi and 5G. Didn't really notice much of a difference except for the load times between games. That's when you notice it take a little bit longer, but we're talking 6 seconds. It's not like game changing for your overall experience. So far, my experience on iPhone was pretty much the same as on Android, except now we have people who are locked to iPhone who can join back in the community, or even newly into the community. I'm really curious what the overall player count's going to be moving forward. I do think it's going to see an increase, but personally, I don't see it being like 1 million players in every lobby at any region all the time like some people on Twitter are claiming. Overall, I was pretty impressed with how the iPhone handled Fortnite, really. I just didn't know what to expect because I started playing in Chapter 4, and this whole debacle started in Chapter 2, Season 3. Short and sweet, I just wanted to give my thoughts on the situation. I've got a link in the description to the App Store if for some reason you can't find it. I know the moment it dropped, it was like impossible to find without the link. But those are my thoughts and some quick things on what you can expect playing Fortnite on the iPhone. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. You know what they say.